In this recap video, we will be looking at PhilHealth walang subsidy, DepEd bawas budget, Veloso nakauwi na at marami pang iba.
Kamusta for me? Ako nga pala si Avor Joseph and welcome to News and Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 8. We have also covered this last week, so skip to the tasks provided if it piques your interest. Here are some big news commentary for your convenience. PhilHealth walang subsidiya. Health insurance. Can't live with them, can't live without it, or can you? The Senate and the House of Representatives think so. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, is a government-owned controlled corporation, or GOCC, that provides health insurance to the country's citizen. Pero sa recent deliberation discussions kung ano sa PhilHealth budget, both chambers of the Congress has agreed na hindi na kailangan ng bigyan ng subsidy ang PhilHealth dahil sa recently uncovered o naisiwalat na almost 600 billion pesos na reserbang pera. Now, I myself was shocked sa 600 billion pesos na reserved funds ng PhilHealth because that's not a budget to scoff at. Kasi, again, 600 billion tapos ang taas ng sinisingil nila sa mga empleyado para sa insurance nila. Di ba parang napakalaki nun? Ang sabi ni Finance Committee Chair Senator Grace Poe, they allotted 0 pesos sa subsidy ng PhilHealth because of the recently uncovered reserved funds. She said na they should first rely on that before getting 100 billion pesos in subsidies in their vaults before taking a portion of the pie in the GAA 2025 budget.
Ito ang isang very contentious, okay? Nakita natin na ang PhilHealth, yung subsidiya na ibinibigay ng gobyerno, na hindi man lang nila nagagamit. Okay? Ang PhilHealth ngayon, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, merong 600 billion na reserve funds. Nakadeposito lang yan sa, ewan ko kung anong account nila nilalagay, but definitely kung anong kinikita niyan, mas maliit pa mas mababa pa sa inflation. So, lugi pa yung gobyerno. So, sa ngayon, ang PhilHealth ay hindi nabigyan ng budget sapagkat kailangan nilang gamitin muna yung kanilang reserve funds na kung nakikita ninyo, marami nang nagagalit dahil hindi nabibigyan ng tamang reimbursement. Hindi mabilis ang pagka-reimburse. Kung nakikita naman natin na ganong karami yung pera nila, kailangan gamitin nila yon dahil nasasayang lang. Anong ginagawa ba't nila iniimbak lang doon, hindi nila ginagamit. So, doon sa mga sektor na talagang walang pondo, doon natin nilagay yung mga sobra naman sa iba na alam natin hindi nila kailangan. Sapagkat later on, di ba nakita na natin yung desisyon ng Supreme Court, sinabi nila hindi pwedeng pag naibigay na sa kanila, hindi pwedeng ilipat kahit na merong mga crisis situation or pangangailangan sa ibang sektor.
The problem here is that the subsidies that the government is giving sa PhilHealth is literally for the poor and the retirees because they don't contribute to the PhilHealth. Wala silang insurance, which is the goal of the universal healthcare, na magkaroon sila ng health insurance in cases of dire financial need para sa medical expenses nila. Unlike other categories including OFWs, formerly employed, and any others that regularly contribute to PhilHealth's insurance, which are also covered. The problem here is that the subsidies that the government is giving sa PhilHealth is literally for the poor. The Philippines has a universal healthcare system. Nanggagalaiti yung sa US kasi bakit sila walang ganun, and the insurance there is hell. To the point na pumatay ng CEO. Pero imbes na matakot sila sa taong yun, sinelebrate nila yung CEO ng health insurance company na yun. Ganon kadire sa US. And the fact that the Philippines has a universal healthcare system, what's supposed to be an all-encompassing health insurance system to provide equitable and quality care to Filipinos nationwide. Isa sa mga pinagkukunan ng mga ibinibigay na subsidy ng gobyerno ay galing sa mga sin tax o excise tax sa mga bisyo tulad ng alak, sigarilyo, sugar-added beverages at marami pang iba. Sin taxes aims to discourage people from buying these products Kung ba dinadagdagan nila, pinapatungan nila para mas lalong mahal and hindi nila ma-afford, or the very least, mag-hesitate sila na bumili ng sigarilyo, ng mga matatamis na inumin at alcohol. Now, sin taxes aims to discourage people from buying these vices and admittedly dangerous products by putting the added taxes to the aforementioned products. Around 80% ng revenue galing sa tobacco at soft drinks ay inilagay sa PhilHealth para mapunan ang Universal Healthcare Act. Kumbaga, nilalaan yung mga nagsisira sa health ng sangkatauhan to a universal healthcare system. You know, kind of feeds off of itself. 80% of it goes to the UHC na binibigay as a subsidy sa PhilHealth. Now, as you can see, around 330 billion pesos yung nakolekta in tobacco excise taxes alone. Saan mapupunta yun? Nakalagay na sa Universal Healthcare Act na 80% ng makukuha sa tobacco, sa sugar beverages, 80% ng tax na makukuha doon is mapupunta sa Universal Healthcare System. 330 billion nga sa tobacco alone, sa excise tax ng tobacco alone, from 2021 to 2022. So parang ang weird nun, di ba? Like, ang taas nun. Tapos hindi mo ibibigay sa rightful owner or rightful na pagbibigyan ng subsidiya na yun. That's just weird. Saan mapupunta yun? The law requires, particularly the Sin Tax Reform Act, that 80% of the tax revenue ay mapupunta para sa subsidiya ng PhilHealth for the Universal Healthcare Act para sa mga indigent at retirees. Paano na lamang ang mga may hirap at mga senior citizens, mga PWDs na hindi makapagtrabaho at hindi makapag-contribute sa PhilHealth? How about expanding their coverages? Imbes na bawasan mo or tanggalan mo ng subsidy, shallow thinking of the budget. Kasi again, paano na lamang yung mga may hirap at mga senior citizens at yung mga hindi nakakapag-abot or hindi nakakapag-contribute sa insurance? How about expanding their coverages, upgrading qualities and insurance? Bakit kailangan pang ubusin yung reserves ng subsidiya? Reserve nga yun. How about expanding na coverage for all Filipinos? Maybe even lower the premiums na binabayaran ng mga manggagawa para kaltasan yung kanilang sahod na napakaliit na nga.
Hindi nila pinamimigay ang pera doon sa mga nangangailangan at tinuturuan din natin sila ng leksyon. Kung bigay ka ng bigay, nandun lang yung pera, hindi naman nagagamit. Paano naman yung mga ibang programa rin ng gobyerno na nangangailangan din ng funding? Yun nga yung sinasabi ko, pag meron kang, syempre di ba, sinasabi natin, 5 yung anak mo, lahat yan kailangan pantay-pantay na mabigyan mo. Totoo yun. Pero sa lahat sa kanila, tinitignan mo rin kung sino may pangangailangan at sino naman ang may kakayanan na itayo rin ang kanyang sarili. Yun din ang sinasabi natin, it's a leadership problem also in PhilHealth and it's a disbursement problem. Gaya nga ng sinabi ni Senator Cynthia, ang problema din sa PhilHealth, hindi na natin alam kung ano ba talaga yung mga benepisyo natin. Wala tayong card na nagsasabi hanggang dito o ganyan ang maibibigay sa'yo, ang tagal-tagal ng approval minsan, hindi alam ng ating mga kababayan kung paano sila comply dun sa mga requirements. So ito yung mga nagiging issue.
Kung galit kayo sa PhilHealth dahil sa mga katiwalaan na nakikita nyo noong past years at mga kontrobersyang nangyayari, palitan nyo yung management. Don't stifle cash reserves na mayroon sila dahil even if you skip this year's subsidy para sa PhilHealth, tandaan natin na nagbabalik pa nga sa PhilHealth ng 90 billion sa National Treasury na nilagyan ng TRO ng Supreme Court. Kasi masyadong mataas yan. Bakit mo binibigay yan? But apparently, it's all legal. Meron pa rin namang 284 billion pesos na budget ang PhilHealth para sa taong 2025. Even without the government subsidies galing sa sin tax. That was 74 billion. I mean, sure, PhilHealth will fare and will do just enough to get by para sa susunod na taon. For the short term, this is great kasi again, nabukasan ka ng 100 billion na intindihin. Pero we are nearing a population decline. Nasa replacement rate na nga ang Pilipinas of around 2.4 children per woman. Tapos sa urban areas, it's less than the replacement rate of 2.1 para mapalitan yung henerasyon na yon. Hindi bumaba ang populasyon. So maybe a population collapse is on the horizon in my lifetime. Doon magagamit ang mga sobrang funds ng PhilHealth. Sa sobrang dami ng mga retirees, humahaba yung buhay nila. Of course, yung health insurance nila, ginagamit nila all throughout their senior and latter days. Syempre, with it being invested in other stuff, kasi kaunti ang magiging working population na magko-contribute para sa universal healthcare ng ating bansa. The burden of the young people of the future, yung mga working population of the future, is that maliit na yung population nila. And that's something not to scoff at. Look, I don't want to be a doomer, lalo na merong advancements sa AI. Pero the fact of the matter is that the working population sa susunod na henerasyon would be less and less. At yung mga sinusuportahan nilang mga senior over 60s, tataas ng tataas, dadami ng dadami dahil sa, again, pagtaas ng quality of life at saka ng life expectancy. So, dagdag sa iintindihin ng mga working population in the near future, yung mga pension nila, yung mga gagastusin para sa PhilHealth, para sa insurance nila, sa mga medical coverages nila, sa mga pension nila, sa mga maintenance nila, at sa mga medikasyon na kailangan nilang kunin. DepEd, CHED, binawasan ang budget. The state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education. 1987 Constitution, Section 5, Paragraph 5. Resigned Senator and DepEd Secretary Sani Angara voiced his dismay due to the budget cuts that afflicted his agency. Mahigit 12 bilyon ang nakalta sa proposed budget ng Department of Education which, according to DepEd Secretary Sani Angara, would hinder the computerization and modernization program na isinasagawa ng ahensya kasama na ang pag-hire ng mga bagong teachers at implementasyon ng salary adjustment, salary standardization law. Binawasan rin ang alokasyon ng 30 billion pesos ang CHED mula sa initial proposed funding nito.
I think it is contrary to all our policy directions. When we talk about the STEM development of our educational sector, and then to the continuing development, because yung nawala na 10 billion comes from the computerization item. So we're working on it to make sure that we will restore it.
Nasa mahigit 1 trillion pesos ang budget ng edukasyon, including DepEd, CHED, mga state universities and colleges, TESDA, at marami pang iba, with only 22 billion peso higher than the DPWH's budget of 1.033 trillion. Now, tignan ulit natin yung Constitution. Sabi, the state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education. Parang they're just doing the bare minimum to say na they're still going by the Constitution and prioritizing the education sector, but that's besides the point. Kasi again, 22 billion lang ang tinaas and they're both at 1 trillion pesos. So parang gusto lang nila na i-keep up yung facade na pinoprotektahan nila yung edukasyon when in reality, it's all about the flagship projects at hindi edukasyon. Of course, I am not one to agree with this type of ingenuine push for education. Kasi sure, technically, the education sector has the largest share of the pie. Pero the difference between the first and the second is less than a quarter of a percentage. So, is that really prioritizing education, prioritizing the education sector when you're basically doing half plus 0.25%? Just to say na you care about the future of this country's education. Parang 22 billion lang ang dinagdag mo. Kung hindi, parehas sila ng DepEd at ng DPWH. So, that's kind of a disingenuine thing na sinasabi mo na priority namin ang edukasyon. Nagdagdag ka lang na 22 billion, binawasan mo pa ng 12 billion yung funding nila. Mabuti na nga lang at DPWH ang kasangga ng DepEd sa budget na ito. Kasi I would wild the fuck out because this is nothing to scoff at. But buti na lang, there's some real public infrastructure going on that doesn't just add or widen roads. I mean, it's such a shape. One more road won't fix shit. Especially not an elitist, toll-based system for the rich. that only provides relief to the fucking rich. And I can attest to that fact. Malapit kami sa isang highway dito sa Metro Manila. Ang tataas ng mga skyway dito, nakakalula. Mga connector ng NLEX at SLEX. Bihira dumaan ng mga karaniwang tao dito. Kahit ngayong mga trucks, hindi ginagamit yon. Kasi, ang taas ng toll fee. Pwede sa mga libre yung toll fee. Sayang yung private-public partnership nila with San Miguel. Puro na lang expressway na may toll. So, hindi rin nagagamit ng karaniwang tao. Parang, binibigyan mo lang ng pera itong San Miguel Corporation, yung mga gumagawa ng SLEX, NLEX at mga kahit anumang expressways. Tandaan natin nasa around 15 trillion lamang ang budget, and the people na nasa executive branch ng gobyerno is overwhelmingly with the legislative branch of the government. Si Cheese, Senate President, loyalista. Si Romualdez, pinsan ni BBM. So I don't think na there were any real struggles sa pag-come up at finalize ng budget. Bigla nga tinaas ng sobra ang budget ni PBBM. Ang schedule na pagpasinaya and signing ng naturang budget ay ipinospone dahil sa mga ugong-ugong ng pagkadismaya sa pinasinaya ang budget ng Senado at Kamara. You know, these type of disingenuous rambling of some fool na sinasabi na, you know, priority namin ang edukasyon. When in fact, ang ginawa mo lang naman is in-average mo yung dalawang budget, tapos nagdagdag ka ng 0.25% dun sa edukasyon para masabi na mas mataas pa rin ang edukasyon. That's disingenuine. But, you know, I don't really care about this at this point. Ang sinasabi ko lang, ang dami nyong kinaltas sa state universities and colleges, sa CHED, sa DepEd. Di ba? Para ang weird na sasabihin mong, you know, napaka mahal namin ang edukasyon. So, ayaw namin galawin yan kasi gusto namin na ma-brighter ang future ng ating mga estudyante. When reality, private ang ginagamit nyo. Kaya wala kayong pake kung gaano man kalakas or gaano man kalaki ang mababawas na budget ng gobyerno. Kasi hindi kayo maapektuhan. Diba? Buti na nga lang DPWH yung kalaban. Again, buti na lang at DPWH ang kasangga ng DepEd sa budget na ito. Else, I would wild the fuck out. Kasi again, I love the infrastructure projects that they have been putting out. And I'm not saying na this president himself is the only reason that made this thing possible. Ang sinasabi ko lang, I love na nagkakaroon tayo ng maraming ongoing at finished na projects ng gobyerno sa public transportation. Yun lang ang gusto ko sa buhay. Talaga as in, a clear and a walkable cities, not car-centric, you know, and if car-centric, yung sa EDSA, bus lanes, buses all around, trams all around. Yun ang gusto kong mangyari. I don't want us to rely to jeepneys. But, you know, if that's the case, and, you know, it would be much more efficient for a jeepney than to a freaking car, a private car, then I would pick the jeepney overall. Pero, in reality, I would pick the tram, the bus, the freaking trains at this point. Just don't make it car-centric. That's all I'm asking. Make the cities livable and walkable. A 15-minute radius where you can get all the things you need. Here are some PH news for your convenience. Mary Jane Veloso, nasa Pinas na. Dumating na si convicted drug mule Mary Jane Veloso galing sa Indonesia matapos ang kulang-kulang 14 na taon sa death row sa Indonesia. Sinintensyahan siya ng kamatayan noong 2010 matapos siyang mahuling nagdadala ng 2.6 kilograms of heroin sa Yogyakarta Airport in Indonesia. Nabigyan siya ng temporary reprieve dahil sa pakikipag-usap ni then-President Benigno Aquino III, breaking protocol to talk to then-President Joko Widodo. In the Duterte administration, binigyan siya ng go-ahead ni then-President Rodrigo Duterte para ipapatay si Mary Jane Veloso. Nabunga ang pagkokomunika ni President Bongbong Marcos kay recently elected President Prabowo Subianto sa isang official state visit sa Indonesia. It is still unclear whether PBBM will give clemency and pardon to Mary Jane Veloso. But why would we do that? At yan ang pagtatapos ng News and Worthy Recap Weekly Edition for roughly the third week of December 2024. Mag-suggest more topics na questions na balita if you feel I misrepresented them in any way. Salamat sa panonood, baka ba for me, like, subscribe, and follow my links in socials and avoid Joseph that will be linked down below. So susunod, of course, paalam.